Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Well, he gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as good.
Hello everybody, welcome to Quick Bang. I'm your host Matty. I'm joined by a whole host of beautiful Hibs fans tonight, and Colin. Hi Colin. We're here to discuss Hibs 2-0 win against Hamilton that finished about 15-20 minutes ago. Tracy, you want to kick us off? What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, ecstatic over the win, keeping third place. Thought there were some really great performances. Thought it was great to see Joe Newell back in the side as well, because obviously I think he's been one of our best players this season. Obviously Daz been in the start-up as well. I think it's been great because he's been fantastic for us. It's like our brick wall at the back. But no, young Josh Doig, so tough for him getting his goal. I thought he had an absolutely fantastic game and totally deserved that goal. And Boyler's obviously back on form as well, so even better. Unfortunate to miss the penalty, but well, Messi and Ronaldo missed them as well, so we'll let them off. I know we've had a few misses over the season, but you know, there's a lot of pressure taking a penalty as well, and even more pressure had the fans been in as well.
Would you say it was a good penalty, or a good save or a bad penalty?
I kind of agree with what Mickey and Keith were saying in the studio with the height of it, because it seemed to have a bit of power behind it as well. So I think you could say it was a good save, but I think obviously the height's obviously that's helped the keeper.
Aye. And what was key to Hibs win today for you, Tracy?
I think it was a good all-round team performance, and obviously Josh and Martin, I think, were the outstanding. You know, I think I didn't actually feel like Hamilton were going to score at all. I mean, even down with 10 men, I mean, playing against 10 men can be a bit tricky. Sometimes, you know, they put all men behind the ball, or, you know, you end up leaving spaces at the back and, you know, they can create something, but never felt that we were under threat, even just at 1-0. Obviously, we had a few chances we missed, but I think Jack Ross will be happy that we're creating the chances rather than not. So, yeah, lots of positives. I think just from front to back, I didn't fear us losing the game at all.
Good stuff. Colin, what was your take on the game?
I didn't disagree with much of that, to be honest. I thought never looked like any bother at all. Teams are that shit scared of Boyle that you know, that's how they ended up with 10 men. Normally they get away with it, but they did obviously got the red card early doors that helped. But I just think we're a bit wasteful at times. You know, 1-0 up, even with 10 men, I was always thinking they'll get a corner or a deflection or something. But we've plenty of chances, but just not putting enough of them away. And I like Big Doig, like he runs about, does loads of work for the team, but he never looks like he's going to score a goal. You know what I mean? I think he's brilliant for the team. Like, he needs to play, but we need some others that are going to chip him with the goals, because he's not going to get enough of them for that point. But I thought we were good. I think Cadden and Irvine have made a huge difference to the team and the squad since they've came in.
Was that a red card for you?
I shouted for it in the house, like I was shouting, but watching it back, it looks to me like it was intent that they got done for, because I didn't know if he really caught him that bad, but it's just the way he's dived in. It looks a red card, you know, and I was shouting for it. So
aye, I always shout for them. Even the ones that aren't like
I know
a red
you would
card,
have been.
I shout for them.
Always shouting, it's always the ref's fault.
Always. Lee, what was your take on the game?
Pretty much what Tracy and Colin have said, to be honest. I thought the first 5 or 10 minutes, I thought we were a bit shaky, and to be fair to Hamilton, they took the game to us. I think the red card did change the game. To me, it was a red. I think any other game, that's a red card as well. So, but I think we got a bit of a lift for that. I thought Boyle's finish was absolutely brilliant, and Martin Boyle on form is when Hibs tick, and you've seen that over the last few weeks, especially. The January signings have been a breath of fresh air. They honestly have. They've been fantastic. Irvine in the middle of the pack, Chris Cadden, was, I always said he would be one of the better signings if we could get him, and he's proven it. Down the wing, he's an absolute nuisance. Josh Doig, again, a complete standout at left back, and I'm delighted he got his goal today. Kind of like what Colin said about Christian Doig, I thought he had a really good chance in the first half, and a confident Doig hits the net with that. He didn't get his head quite on it. But at the end of the day, the green machine keeps on rolling, and that's all we can ask for. That's 4 wins in a row.
Aye, and Andy, I'll come to you next. And so we're, like you said, a few wins on the trot now. Back-to-back home wins for the first time in, I think, 28 months. What do you think's been behind that resurgence?
I think the change in formation to 3-4-3 just stabilised us from back to front, and really obviously getting the new players in as well. But the formation has just given us an outlet to play our game, our style of football, and look stronger at the back as well. Because before that, we were leaking silly goals. The semi-final against St Johnstone, it was comical, the goals that we conceded. But we don't look like conceding that many in this formation, and it's a lot better for me. I was pleasantly surprised today. Going down to 10 men early doors, I thought they'd give us a harder task, but we stuck to our task very well and deserved to win the game, probably by more than just the 2 goals.
I'd agree with that. Leon, what was your take on the game?
I thought it was brilliant. The opposition going down to 10 men always piles the pressure on the home side as well. They actually turn the game over and make it a lot easier than it is, and that doesn't always happen. Obviously, if the fans have been in the ground as well, there's a lot of moan and groans coming out of each of the park. But I thought they'd done the job perfectly. Apart from when they hit the early doors, when they hit the post, had a few chances. Hamilton have got scoring. The defence looked solid. Like Lee said, when Martin Boyle's on form, Hibs are on form. And I felt Jackson Irvine wasn't at his best today, like to what it came, some of his final balls and stuff, but he was still doing the running, he was still putting the tackles in as well, and I thought it was just a good 3 points, and against a side that, they were in good form. They came to Easter Road in really, really good form again. It was like Steve Mirren and loads of other sides that came up against us, and they always seem to find a bit of form, and they come to Easter Road or they come to play us, and we seem to do them over. So it just shows the kind of mentality we've got as a side that doesn't matter how well you're playing, when you come up against Hibs, it's a hard task.
Spot on. Raymond, do you think Hibs are right to feel confident going into these games now?
I think we've earned a right to, let us say, have that element of confidence. Yeah, the game today, there was a few outstanding performances. You got to straight away. You're looking at Doig. Doig was it was brilliant today. What a job that laddie does up and down the wing. And it's for years I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to say it. We've never had anyone that can cross the ball with his left foot from that side, because everyone, when I didn't want to diss him because everyone loves him, but you know who I'm talking about. He can't cross the ball with his left foot.
Well, to be fair, I've not seen Rocky try it that many times, Raymond.
I'm being that guy. I'm afraid I'm saying it, and it's a joy. It's a joy to have somebody doing that and beating players like that. He made such a difference today. Cadden on the other side as well, outstanding. As I think it was Leon touched on it. Don't that Jackson Irvine was at his best today. And personally, I would have had Nisbet on for Doig from the very beginning. Nothing to do with Doig's work rate, I should say, is absolutely fantastic. But if you give Nisbet those balls that he got in those positions, Hibs win that game by 4 or 5 goals. Because Nisbet's finishing is better.
Fair point.
Aye.
See, in the Doig stuff, sorry to ban, the Doig, John Ross has looked after him well, because normally we've had good players coming to teams like young laddie before and they get overplayed, but taking them out of the team, taking them off subbing them in that during games. And
I think that he's done well with a lot of players in there. And this is me having just said that I felt Nisbet should have been getting a game today. I think he's also done a very good thing by not playing him, not playing Porteous after everything that happened in January. So these guys are having to earn their place back. But having said that, today was the way that we were playing the game down the wings with overlaps, drawing their defence out against 10 men. There was spaces in the middle for somebody who's inventive with their runs and a good finisher to be capitalising on. And Big Doig, I love him. He's not that guy. He's your target man. He's there to look to bring midfielders into the game and to bring a fellow striker into the game. And I just feel that if Nisbet plays today in getting those positions, he scores probably 2-3 goals.
I know, but I think you lose a bit of the team taking Doig out. I think maybe it would be somebody else that would have to lose it to get Nisbet in.
Yes.
Which would probably be Boyle, which everybody would say take Boyle at the now. So.
Yeah, or either that or Murphy.
Murphy.
I think it's a good position to be in, when you've got those sort of options to come in. Callum, I'll bring you in. What was your take on the game, mate?
I thought it was a good professional performance. I thought we won the game without getting out a second or third gear. I'd like to have seen us maybe turn the screw a wee bit more and stick a few more past the 10 men, but at the same time that can leave yourself open for a sucker punch. So I thought it was a professional but pragmatic job, to be honest. We won the game without key players like Murphy and Irvine playing up to the standard that we know that they can as well. So that's good to see that we've got other players that step in when they're not playing at their best.
Now, what do you think of the lineup, Callum? Because there was one change, so Gogic dropped out and Newell came back in. But as has been pointed out, we're still no starting probably two of our most sellable assets in Porteous and Nisbet. So do you think that's the right approach for Jack Ross now?
Yeah, definitely. I think Gogic could count himself unlucky to get dropped. I think he's been really good recently, but I wholeheartedly understand why he did it. We were going to have more of the ball, and for me, Gogic isn't the best with the ball at his feet. He's better at breaking up play. So to have Neil in there, kind of quarterback, running the show from the kind of defensive midfield position worked for me. So I think as the guys have said, Paul Porteous and Nisbet both need to work their way back into the team. If they're not, I've not got a God-given right to be there while the team's winning. So for me, it was the right team.
When you win, you can't complain with the manager's choice if you win the game. Jamie, what was your take on it, mate?
To be honest with you, listen, we can wax lyrical about the game of the day because we won and won quite comfortably, but the first 10-15 minutes were shite. We didn't really actually have any really possession of the ball until his name was Hamilton, he got sent off. And then we kind of tried to push on for there. Now, listen, I get the whole thing, sticking with the team that's been winning for the last 3-4 games. I get all of that. But when you are trying to cut your nose off to spite your face in terms of not playing the players, then just say that. Come out and say, we're not playing Kevin Nisbet because he handed in a transfer request. That's fine. No problem. Everybody will have an easy time with that. But let's not forget that they were doing to 10 men after 10 minutes. And they're shite. We should really be going and hammering teams like Hamilton. I thought we played well. I thought we played done enough to win the game. But done enough, is that really equivocal to being a good side and a good side today? I'm not being too critical. All I'm really basically saying is that for me, Hibs were well worth the win. But let's not fucking mask over that to think it was a brilliant performance, because it wasn't.
So up until that second goal there, just when we got our second goal, there was a period I'd actually written down, this is shite. Because it was just, I'm sitting watching it going, what the fuck are we doing? There was nothing happening, and it was lack of, and a lot of bad decisions by individual players where passes are on left and right, or I think Cadden took the ball, he charged into space, and I'm just screaming at him, take the shot on, son, take the shot on. And he elected to pass it where, in that case, I felt shot was better off. I hear exactly what you're saying. We shouldn't. I would agree. We shouldn't sort of go, "Hey, we've won magic," but equally, let's fucking enjoy it.
Aye, that's the big thing is to enjoy it.
Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the win. I completely agree. but let's not wax lyrical. It wasn't a great performance in terms of where we should be. They played with 10 men for at least 80% of the game. It was fucking...
How often do you see it, though? So, Tracer, how often do you see with a team with 10 men, especially in a game where you think this is an easy game for us? How often do you see teams come a cropper in that situation?
Oh, loads. Because everybody thinks because they're down to 10 men, oh yeah, well, that's that. But then all they do is they just put the 10 men behind the ball. That's all they do. They just defend. So it makes it a lot harder for you to break that down. Yeah, Hamilton aren't the best team and they've escaped relegation I don't know how many times, but they were also coming to us on the back of some great form as well. So, you know, they were... had they had 11 men in the park, we might have had a completely different game.
I think one of the points that I noticed around about the 75-minute mark, they were absolutely blown out their hoops because they'd worked so hard. They'd done really well at trying to stop us from doing the right thing, doing the good things. They'd done really well at that. And at 75 minutes, they were absolutely knackered. When that goal went in, you'd seen them that was it. They knew that was it. Game over. It was, and at that point, that's where I expect Hibs to say, right, come on, let's take this and absolutely just get right in about them. And they never.
So, Andy, would you say it was more of a professional performance than a great performance, or would you make a case for it being a good performance?
No, I would say it's professional, and I think the word pragmatic was used earlier as well, and I think that's a good word for today. And I think when we were talking about the decision making, I think a lot of that comes down to the pitch. If you're bringing the ball forward and the ball's bobbling at your feet, you're not going to be always looking up left and right, which they should be doing on a good pitch. But
that's a very good point.
They're making sure the ball's okay before the next pass, whereas normally there'd be a pass ahead. And it's difficult. I understand it's difficult for the players, and I wish we could somehow get this pitch sorted out. But there's not that many games left between now and the split anyway. So just hopefully we keep picking up points like we have done today in a professional, pragmatic way.
But come on, Andy. Let's face facts here. I can understand exactly what you're saying about a good pitch. Everybody wants to play in a good pitch. I don't know if you've played yourself or played amateur, know any great kind of shakes. But I'm not looking at the ball to see where it's going because it's a bad pitch. I'm looking about how I'm going to play the pass.
They're taking more care of the ball than thinking about the pass ahead. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that they're taking the ball and controlling that, and they're making sure the ball's looked after by them. So then they're not looking bad on the back of a bad pass or the back of a bad touch. I understand. I 100% agree with what you're saying. But I'm just saying that there is reasons behind why they're holding on to the ball a wee bit too long, or they're not playing that pass left. They're not finding Cadden down the right. But it's something that will come. But against Aberdeen, we changed the way we played. We lifted the ball a wee bit. We weren't playing passes along the deck because we just weren't able to do that. But it was good that we've changed the tactics slightly to win the game. Today, I felt we held onto the ball at certain times and just never really got going.
Did we change the tactics because of the pitch or because the player got sent off? Listen, I'm not detracting about how Hibs played, but they were shite in the first 10 minutes. They were crap. The boy that goal goes in, it's a different game. I'm not detracting for that. Hibs were...
Colin, I'll bring you in here.
Jimmy, every game, the other team get a 5-10 minute spell. Just so happened it was at the start of this game. You know what I mean? Okay. And we didn't play that well. We played all right. I thought we played some no bad stuff at times, actually. There was a couple of nice touches and passes and that. And I think we always, you hear it all the time, you see it all the time, focus on the negative. Like we've had an easy 2-0 win. It was comfortable. As much as I probably contradicted what I said earlier, it was comfortable. If you watch it back, when you're watching at the time, you feel on edge, right? If you watch that game back later, we're probably never in any real danger. And we're focusing on the what was it? The Nisbet's not playing because he asked for a transfer request. That's not what Nobody said that. He wasn't in the team because he wasn't playing that well, and we've been winning. So maybe he's not in the team because
Coaches is exactly the
he's
same.
placing the team in him.
But see, with Nisbet, do you not think they're playing him? Well, they're trying to play him in the hole. They're trying to play him deeper. And he was at the start of the season, he was getting his goals. Then he started playing him deeper. And now because Boyle's playing up front, you can't drop Boyle just now. You didn't want to put him out wide. And then you've got Doig who brings something else to the game. Yep. Whereas, where do you fit Nisbet in? And for me, Murphy's brilliant in the free roll in between the midfield and the attack. But that's not Nisbet's style. That's not Nisbet's game.
You have to fit Nisbet in, though. Why do you have to fit Nisbet in if the team's winning? Why do you have to fit him?
It's the same with any player,
why not sell
There's
him
no
then?
player. There's no player bigger than the club.
Because we need a squad, Jimmy. You can't just want to have 11 players. We can't just have 11 players.
I get that, but what I'm talking about is if you're talking about getting a £3 million player, and why do you need to fit him in? If you don't need him, why not sell him?
It's
not a couple £100,000.
Because you're not going to replace him. Because you're not going to replace him with the same quality.
But you're not playing him. You're not replacing him.
But you're playing him though, because you're bringing him on when it really matters. You've got a player there now at the moment that's going to work to get back on that side, or you can bring on when it hits the fan, right? But at the moment, why say it came in that late and everything happened that late that they were like, we can't sell him because there's no way. The fans would have went mental. Everybody would have went mental. Hibs have on the way to win third and whatever, blah, blah, blah. No ambition because we've already a player, their best striker, for £3 million. And they can, they're going to get the money for him in the summer.
And maybe more.
And they'll get more. So hopefully he'll play more.
How can you get more money for a player if he doesn't play? Come on. You can't live on past glories.
He's only not played 2 games. There's been another 7 or 8 games.
3 games.
It's only a few weeks since we were saying players weren't playing well because they were guaranteed a place in the team. That was the problem with Hanlon and Porteous and all that. And now they were saying Nisbet should be guaranteed a place in the team.
I'm not saying guarantee him a place in the team, but if you're not going to sell him for £3 million, which is a lot of money, and I'm not, obviously keep the same team in terms of you're winning games, you're solid, you're winning stuff, but fuck me, come on. If not playing him, it's just if he's handed a transfer request,
where would you
and
play him?
that's the ball that then fine.
Where would you play him just now?
I'd play him ahead of Doig. Doig for me is not the player.
He changes it.
It's a total different player.
So
of course they are. But
Leo,
you're asking me who's the player in front of him.
Two seconds.
Play him ahead of Doig, but Doig isn't the Doig.
2 seconds, Jay. We're going to bring Lee in. Lee, if you were Jack Ross and you're looking to fit Kevin Nisbet into the team now, where are you playing him?
We're on a 4-game winning streak. He doesn't get in the team. I understand the arguments, right? But I'm going to go back to the point, right? Today's game, right? I must have been watching a different game. Hibs created chances. The keeper made some outstanding saves. If we were a little bit more clinical in the final third, and I appreciate some of the passes were no up to standard, but come on, we had a week off. Do you know what I mean? Like we had a game postponed last week. That's going to stop the momentum. Matty, you know as anybody, sometimes I could be really critical of the team, but you can't be the day. You can't be the day. We actually played all right. We created chances. The keeper saved some really good shots. But on the Nisbet argument, I get he's a fantastic prospect. But just like Porteous, Darren McGregor's keeping him at the team because he deserves to keep him at the team. Darren McGregor's been solid, and Christian Doig is a good foiler for Mark Boyle. So we're 4 games in streak. They didn't get in the team for me.
Aye,
it's a great position to be in. It's a fantastic position to be in.
Absolutely.
We're actually arguing the case about who should be in the team, who should be in the team. The fact is, they're all good enough. They're all good enough to be there. So it's a great position to be in because God forbid we get injuries, whatever. Then you've not got that choice. And I just there's going to be horses for courses. It's going to change around as the season goes on. We play different teams. There'll be different games that different players will suit. I just felt today would have been a good day for Nisbet to be playing in front of Doig because of the way we were putting the ball wide and getting the ball and cutting the ball back into the box. We weren't trying to combat like big, huge centre halves. Next weekend, we're going to play St Johnstone. They're going to do everything about a set piece. It's all going to be about attacking us under a set piece, and it's going to be big centre halves attacking the ball. So it's going to be a different game next week. So probably Doig would be suited for the game next week.
There's one I think I'll take up with Longbangers on Monday. We've got a bit more time to discuss it and see what a couple of idiots have to say about it. I'll put it to them.
Like today, you look at the bench. What a strong bench we had. It's been a long time, I think, like before the transfer window, you know, when you're getting injuries and everything, and our bench looked really thin. And you're like, oh God, who do you bring on? And now it's like you've got a £3 million striker, a £1.5 million defender sitting on the bench, Scotty Allen. Honestly, it's unbelievable. But these are the guys are keeping them out because, as Lee says, we're on a 4-win, run, a winning game. So
but then it doesn't have to be in the team.
There's going to be some massive games coming up as well. Like massive games. When we get beyond this, when the top split happens, there's going to be some huge games, and they're 6-pointers. Every game's a 6-pointer in that top 6. And this is when the big players that when you really, really, really need somebody to dig you, this is when it's going to matter. And it's
Leon, you're right.
Absolutely.
The big games in the top 6 could be worth nothing at the end, though, because the next 4 or 5 games it could all be done by the top 6 started.
True.
Aberdeen's, I think they've got Celtic next week. Was it 4 points for a game in hand? It's Motherwell, I think, next week. I'm not sure, maybe it's St Johnstone. I thought it was Motherwell, but
I think it's Motherwell
at home, I think.
It's Motherwell, mate.
Is it?
And they're away, and Aberdeen's away to Parkhead again. So we could be 7 points ahead with a game in hand before we even get to the split. So it's a big game next week, whether even it's no Aberdeen or a semi-final. I mean, it's still a big game.
We put ourselves in a position where every game's a big game, week to week now. We're now at that stage of the season, and we've put ourselves in such a good position that every game is becoming such a big game, and we're not under pressure, but we've set our standards, and we've now got to stick to them, I think.
In Scott Allen's interview yesterday, it was quite. I didn't realise that third place pretty much guarantees you a group stage qualification. I never knew that. That in itself is a massive incentive to finish third. Is the fact that you could play European football up until December.
Group stage.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, I don't think Scottish football in third place, you would ever have something that you could ever go for, that you could probably get to the Europa League group stages, obviously falling at the qualifiers, but what a chance we've got to do that. And I think that's
and what a chance to generate money when we've gone with this season. Well, everybody's gone without the season. So it would give us a particular advantage to be able to generate that cash. Because the other clubs, I think I heard somewhere that Aberdeen are running at something like an 80% of the turnover is going out in wages.
90%.
I think a few clubs will be like that. So listen, we're running out of time. We've got a couple of minutes left. So Lee, you mentioned Scott Allen's interview there. Is anybody what can you talk about? Did everybody watch it and any thoughts on Scott Allen's return? What can you call out just now?
God bless him. What a player. Can't wait till he's back to full strength, because you can see that what he was going through when he come back was obviously a medical defect with himself, and I hope he comes back bigger and stronger, because that laddie is a player beyond Hibs. He is outstanding.
Callum, what about you? What were you thinking about him being back? You happy? That's an interviewer's question, eh? Sorry, that's like you must be delighted to win the day. Of course I'm fucking delighted. Sorry, what are your thoughts on Scott coming back?
Great player, great hairdo. Delighted to have him back.
Can't argue with that. Right, that's time up for today. Thanks everybody for coming on. Hope if you're listening at home, you'll enjoy it. We'll have Longbangers back on Monday, where Brian and John and myself will kind of chew through some of the points that were raised here today, and then we'll be back after the next game with another quick bang. So if you fancy coming on the show, drop me a wee DM on Twitter, and take care of yourself until then. We'll see you next time.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in town.